Life cycles. The word cycle means go around. A wheel goes around. You can observe a wheel go through one cycle. Put a mark on a wheel. That's the beginning point. Turn the wheel and watch the mark go around. When the mark comes back to the beginning point, the wheel has completed one cycle. Another cycle is the one that happens every day, from sunrise one day to sunrise the next day. 1 year is a cycle. The moon goes through a cycle of phases each month. Organisms go through life cycles, but an organism's life cycle is a little different from going around in a circle. Like all cycles, a life cycle has a beginning, things happen, and then you find yourself back at the beginning again. The butterfly life cycle. Other organisms have life cycles too, but animal life cycles can be very different from the life cycle of a bean plant. Some animals are born alive, and some animals hatch from eggs. They all grow up to be adults. The adults mate and produce offspring. The life cycle of the monarch butterfly starts with an egg. A tiny larva called a caterpillar hatches out of the egg. The caterpillar eats and grows. When it is about as big as your finger, the caterpillar changes into a pupa inside a chrysalis. In a couple of weeks, the adult butterfly breaks out of the chrysalis and flies away. After mating, the female lays eggs, completing the life cycle. Here's another type, the trout life cycle. Trout lay eggs in streams. After 3 to 4 weeks, the eggs hatch and babies swim out. The babies stay attached to their yolks. The yolks are used as food for another 2 to 3 weeks. Now they are young fish called fry, but they don't look like their parents yet. For the next year, they grow up little by little. In 2 years, they are adults. They look just like their parents. They mate and lay eggs in the stream. Can you describe the trout life cycle? Life is a repeating cycle. Plants, insects, fish, frogs, birds, mammals, and all other living things have life cycles. An organism's life cycle is defined by stages. An organism goes through these important stages between the time it is born and the time it produces offspring. The life cycle of a bean takes a few weeks. The life cycles of some insects and the frog take about a year. The life cycle of an elephant takes more than 10 years. All these life cycles are different. Think about the time the life cycle takes for each organism and the stages the organism goes through. Both the time and the stages are different for every different kind of organism. Thinking about life cycles. So what is a life cycle? Describe the life cycle of one kind of animal. And look at this tomato plant. Describe the life cycle of the tomato. So if we look at the tomato, we can see it starts off as a plant, and the plant grows and it develops flowers. From the flowers, this fruit grows. Eventually, it ripens and we can pick it and eat it. We can see the seeds on the inside, which eventually can get planted and turn into plants. So that's the life cycle of the tomato. It just keeps repeating.